You are listening to the First Down Breakdown with Beast and Breeze picks.
Like I've been ballin' 'cause I'm really ballin'. I wanna buy the Jags, I'm not really sorry.
Welcome to week 13, guys. It's the First Down Breakdown. My name's Beast Picks. This is my guy Breeze Picks. And man, we're excited to be back. Kind of a tough week for us last week. I was able to, scratch and claw out like a 4-3. But I know Breeze went 2-3. So, we were kind of hot for a couple weeks there, and we kind of said it. Maybe we a little jinxed ourselves, but it was a fun week last week with the Thanksgiving games. And me and Breeze got a big trip to the Bengals game this weekend planned. So a lot of really exciting things going on the podcast. How we doing today, Breeze?
Doing good. Excited for this weekend. Got to play in that game, but pumped up for it. Never been to a Cincinnati game, but we're doing well. Excited to see the young talent out there. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited as well. Like you
said, need a raincoat.
Yeah, it's looking like the weather is going to be like 80% rain, but we're praying that maybe that's not what happens. But I don't know. We'll see. But on the year right now, guys, like I said, we're getting pretty hot for a couple weeks there. Breeze is 51, 35-2. I think that's 59% right now. I mean, he's absolutely killing it this year as far as his NFL goes. And then I'm 44-39. So 5 games above positive. I want to say I looked it up. My percentage was 53. Not probably where I wanted it. But hey, 53%, I'm still happy with it. And we're going to keep working on it. Keep adding some positive weeks. You never know, man. Maybe I can get it up, 55, something like that. But man, excited. I know I got one play on the Thursday night game. Do you have anything on that game?
Oh yeah.
All right, man.
Got to.
Hey, you got it. I feel like we always have at least one play on the Thursday night games.
If we're recording before Thursday night, we got to throw a play out.
Hey, dude. Typically, I complain of like the Thursday night games. You don't have anything to watch because a lot of times they're stinky games. Like it'll be like Falcons, Jets, or something like that. Or Lions, Jets for that matter, screw the Lions. But there always seems to be a line that I feel like I can kind of fall in love with. I don't know why it is, but I like the Thursday night games. So if you want to lead it off though, man, let me hear what you got.
Yeah, for this one, I actually think it's one of the better Thursday night games we've had this year. I don't think it'll be too bad of a game to watch. Last week's was good with Thursday night, but the week before that, who the Falcons played, but fuck, that was tough to watch. This one, I got the over 47.5. I know McCarthy has COVID. They're out with their head coach, but, Kellen Moore, I think, is could be an any day coach. And I think he'll be taking over here. They're getting Mari Cooper back, Lamb's back. I don't see how the Cowboys offense doesn't put up at least 28, 30 in this one. We got 47.5. Taysom Hill's getting the start for New Orleans, which I think is a hell of a lot better than Simeon. I don't know if Kamara's back. I think he is. I think they said he's playing.
Yeah, he's limited, but
yeah, so I think that can help him out a little bit. But I see myself having like 28, 21 game here, just getting us a little bit over. I was expecting the over be at like 50. So I think 47.5 is a great spot for an over here.
Oh yeah. I kind of like that play. A lot of that is the same reason. I got Saints +5 in this game. And man, it's tough when you're betting on, Taysom Hill's coming in this week, kind of his first real start, I would say, and I'm excited for it, to be honest. That's why I'm on Saints +5. I think Taysom Hill brings a completely different dynamic. He's going to be very hard to, game plan against because that RPO that they can run with him. And he's really not that bad of a passer in my opinion, especially compared to Simeon. It's not that much of a difference. I think it's going to be a really nice addition having him. But like you said, you got Kamara, who has kind of been questionable all week. He's put in limited practices on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So it sounds like he's going to play, but if not Kamara, Mark Ingram has been practicing fully. So it's not like they're completely out, both those guys, like they were last week, I believe. So being honest, whether it's Ingram or Kamara, I think Ingram will be fine. But if you add in Kamara and Taysom Hill, that's going to be a fun duo. I think the Saints are going to be really rolling. Giving me 5 points on a Sean Payton team at home is already, enough to be excited about. But the Taysom Hill dynamic, I'm excited for. And I was looking at it. The Saints is underdogs. Their past 16 games are 12-4 against the spread. That's a huge number. That just goes to show what Sean Payton's teams seem to do when they're kind of underdogs. And 27-9 straight up at home their last 36 games. Saints have a very good home field advantage, like many good teams in the league. So I'm excited about that play, man. Give me Saints +5, especially Dallas coming off a very ugly game against the Raiders last week at home, losing in front of their fans. I thought it was kind of a game they should have won, and they found ways to let the Raiders put up,
For sure.
a lot of points. So I'm excited about that one. What other 1 o'clock games do we got? Let's get into that slate.
Yeah, for sure. I like that play too. I think, Saints are in desperation mode right now and it's must win or at least keep it close for them. But we can jump into the 1 o'clocks. First one I have up right now. We can go Tampa Bay Falcons. I don't know if you have a play in this one, but I'm taking the under here. I think it's 50.5.
Yep.
I know last time these teams played, it was like 48-25. So you would think they would bump. I remember I took the under originally. I took the team total under for Falcons the first time they played. It was like 17.5, and I got buried with like Bucks putting in their like third string defense. But you'd think the line would go up based on like their last meeting. I think it went down a point, and I'm pretty sure the public's all over the over here. I think it's a good spot for the under. Bucks have been kind of changed their offense. I think they're running the ball a lot more with Fournette and Ronald Jones and relying more on play action than just letting Brady just sling it out there. So I do think, Bucks will put up their fair share of points here. I just don't see Falcons doing a whole lot. They're ranked 31st in pass defense right now. And I don't see them doing a whole lot. And they're definitely not going to run the ball against Tampa, as Colts kind of struggled last week. So I see like 30, I don't know, 15, 17. Don't see a whole lot of points here.
Yeah, I was looking at this game as well. I got the under 50.5. So kind of excited that we're both on that game. We always talk about divisional unders as kind of being a good spot to take the under, but a lot of this came down to, I looked at Atlanta's stats at home. Some teams typically are better at home at scoring, but Atlanta, it's not the case. They're the number 32 scoring offense at home this year. And people will be like, well, wait a minute. The Buccaneers are the number 1 scoring offense in the league this year. But on the road, they're like number 10. Actually, I'm looking at it right now. They are number 10. So they're number 1 overall as far as scoring offense, but number 10 when it comes to, on the road. So give me a divisional under. Give me a game where I'm looking at, I don't think Brady and, the Bucs are going to do what they did last week, this week. Granted, the Falcons suck, but the Bucs had to fight back in that game last week. I don't think they're putting up, 38 points. I think this is going to be a blowout, frankly. And I think if that's the case, we're going to see a lot of running in that third, fourth quarter, trying to just kind of kill clock. And it feels like this game kind of just doesn't have 50 points, if you ask me. Like you said, people are going to hammer the over because they're going to see, Tom Brady and Fournette looked great last week. But I don't think the Falcons are going to be able to put up nearly enough points. The last 3 weeks, the Falcons have put up an average of like 7 to 8 points. It was like 7.5 or maybe 8.0. I don't know. I looked at it earlier this morning. I don't have the number off the top of my head, but yeah, they've averaged like 8 points the last 3 weeks. That's not good. They're not going to be able to put up much points, especially against a decent Tampa defense. So give me that under. I'm excited about that one as well, man. So
yeah, I think we'll be good on that one. Jumping into another one I have is a teaser. They haven't been great to me. Last week I did hit, but 2 weeks before that I've lost, but love me a teaser when one's available. The first part, I'll go to my first part of it. I'm taking Arizona against the Bears. I think in the teaser I have Arizona -1.5. Coming off a bye week, I expect Kyler's going to be back. Hopkins will probably be back. Bears are still dealing with the quarterback situation. I don't think Fields is playing. They got Dalton playing. He did look okay against the Lions on Thursday, but honestly, the Lions should have won that game.
Yeah, it's also the Lions.
we literally did everything wrong and just handed them the game there. I don't think the Bears are very good. I know Arizona is going to have to tough it up going to Chicago on the road. Probably not going to be used to the chilly weather, but I don't see them losing this game. So teasing them -1.5 for my first part of my teaser. I don't see how they don't win by at least 3 in this one.
Yeah, definitely. But once again, I'm agreeing on this one. I actually have Cardinals, but I don't have them full game. I was looking at like it was -7.5. Didn't feel confident about that, so I did the first half. Cardinals -3.5 first half against the Bears. It's not to say that I don't. I mean, they could cover that full game spread, but you're giving me 7.5 versus 7. That makes me nervous a lot. But like you said, Kyler Murray's probably going to be back. Sounds like DeAndre Hopkins probably going to be back. Having that duo back is going to be great. I mean, they were fine, honestly, doing pretty well, winning games without them. But I mean, bring them back. So just looking at a full year standpoint, the Cardinals' first half scoring on the year, they're number 2 in the league as far as first half points per game. And then they're number 1 on away. So like when they're the away team, they're the number 1 scoring offense in the first half. Meanwhile, you got the Bears, who are the number 29 first half scoring offense in the league. They don't score much points in the first half. They're the one of the worst in the league. So you got number 2 for the Cardinals as far as scoring offense. Bears are number 29. There's a big gap there, if you ask me. And that's including, so you have Cardinals as number 2 as scoring offense. That's including those games without Kyler, which has been 3 games now. So
Yeah.
bring him back. I mean, so you're factoring in that with the first half scoring offense. Bring back Kyler, bring back DeAndre Hopkins. -3.5. I feel like that should be an easy one for them to cover in the first half, at least. It could be, a 4 point, it could be 7 points. We don't know, but I'm feeling very good about that play. I like taking first half plays when it's a spread like that, -7.5. It's just kind of a strategy I like to go at. So I'm excited about that one as well. I agree with your standpoint that 7.5 points is kind of tough, so tease them down.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think the 7.5 the reason why I didn't really play that, I mean, I think they honestly probably cover that, but I was looking at their schedule. They play the Rams next week.
Could be a
So I could
look
easily,
ahead.
yeah, I could easily see them going up and then, like throwing in the towel, like, oh, we're not moving on to LA next week, and then Bears, put up some garbage points at the end, and
Yeah.
there goes your loss.
Yeah. The
um,
Lions do that all the time to cover.
yeah. So that's why I just teased it down, but I can jump into the second part of my teaser. I
Yeah.
have I love this one. I almost took him outright, but the line keeps dropping. But Texans were +10.5, now they're +9. So I teased them +15, getting them, at least 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I know the Colts have looked better. The running games looked awesome, but Texans at home, they always play tough. You give me 14 points, I'll take that in a heartbeat. I don't see them losing by more than 10. Like Bills 10.5. Texans were probably been one of my top plays this week. So I teased it down to +15. And then Cardinals -1.5 is my teaser.
Yeah, I like that teaser a lot. You're getting one team with 2 touchdowns, and then you're getting one team down to -1.5. I don't have a play on that game, but I kind of agree with your standpoint as far as you're getting Houston 2 touchdowns. That's a huge number. And I'm looking at the percentages right now. 90% of the bets are on the Colts. People are hammering the Colts, and I get it. The Colts
Yeah.
look great. I mean, frankly, I thought that they were going to win that game last week against the Bucks, but yeah, Jonathan Taylor and stuff should do fine, but 2 touchdowns. Once again, we play that factor of, is there going to be a late touchdown by the Texans to kind of cover that? I mean, you're getting 2 touchdowns in the NFL. That's a huge number. So I like that a
Plus,
lot. I think it's a
the
good spot.
sharps are leaning on, like, the line keeps dropping for Texans. If it makes its way back up to 10, I'm taking Texans like as another play, but
Yeah.
we'll see. I know it dropped to 9, I think 9, maybe it's at 8.5 now. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
last
I'm
time I
looking
looked
at
it was
9, but
yeah.
yeah.
I wouldn't play that unless if it gets to 10, I'd take Texans as well. But
Yeah, it's hard betting against a team like the Colts right now because they're playing so hot. But they've got to have a letdown game at some point, and they're going on the road to Houston. So we'll see. I like that one a lot. So I can get to one of my next plays. I got Lions and Vikings under 47 points, and God, do I hate betting on the Lions. But right now, man, they've had a lot of these kind of ugly games. Last week was like 16-14. The game against the Texans was, or not the Texans, but the Steelers was kind of ugly. But this is more just going off matchups and going off of the fact that DeAndre Swift, nope, he ain't playing. And then Dalvin Cook, he ain't playing. So when we look at the Vikings, the Lions, I mean, this the last time they played when it was in Minnesota, it was their kicker Joseph kicking this 50-something yard field goal to win it. It was a 19-17 game. Lions almost won that game. That was one of those games that we talk about. Man, the Lions have had some really close calls, just like against the Baltimore Ravens. I mean, they've had some games where a guy misses a kick, Lions win that game. The Lions kind of fought back in that game. I couldn't believe that they almost won it, but they did. And when we're just looking at the Lions as a whole, 8-1 on the under the last 9 games. So they have not scored a ton of points, and their defense, for whatever reason, has been able to kind of hold it down.
Yeah.
I mean, not really hold it down, but they've done good enough. And
I mean, a lot better than I thought after the first game. Fuck.
Dude, I have no idea. It doesn't make sense to me. So the last 3 games, the Lions have lost 16-14, which is 30 points total.
Yeah.
Lost to the Browns 13-10, and then this tie against the Steelers, which went to overtime, and they tied 16-16. So and then the week before that, they gave up a 44 spot to the Eagles. So you really don't know what you're going to get from the Lions. But the last 3 weeks, they've played relatively good enough. So, hey, give me a Vikings team that doesn't have Dalvin Cook, and then give me a Lions team that doesn't have DeAndre Swift. I'm going to take it. I mean, those are 2 huge pieces. Arguably, the Lions' best player this year is DeAndre Swift. I'd say it. So taking him away, what is Goff going to do? Like, Jamal Williams is fine, but he ain't DeAndre Swift. Like, in the passing game, DeAndre Swift makes a difference. He's leading all backs and receptions this year. It's a huge piece away from that Lions team. I don't think they're going to score more than like 13 points this week. So give me that under.
Both of them are matched as like one of the 2 worst like run defenses in the league.
Yeah.
So they're going to rely on the run, try and exploit that, even though they have backups. But so I expect this to be a slow game. One you definitely don't want to watch. I can tell you that.
Yeah, it's gonna be ugly. I'm gonna be
glad we'll be at the Cincy game, so we don't have to burn our eyes for the fucking 13th week in a row.
Yeah, for sure. I don't want to. If the Lions are getting their ass kicked, I don't want to see it. But if they get their ass kicked,
I mean,
it's probably gonna go under.
Might not be in a good spot to take them.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, and they're at home. So,
but I was like, I don't know. I'm not trusting them. I'd rather just enjoy my Sunday.
Yeah, I agree. So, if you want to get to what your next play is, man, let's get to
let's go into the Cincy game, baby. I got to play on it. We're going to it. Keeping it on the pod, not telling the boys what I'm taking.
Yeah, I know.
Besides you, but I'm fading the boys. I know the boys are big Cincy fans, big Burrow fans, but the Chargers got to get it together here, I think. I'm getting 3 points. I see this game being like a pick 'em, honestly. And if I had a pick, I honestly think the Chargers are more talented than the Bengals are on defense and offense. I don't really know what's going on with them. I know they've struggled lately, but I really expect them to kind of bounce back here. Since he's been lights out, I just see this one, kind of being a letdown game here. But yeah, I think Chargers might win this one outright. But +3, even if they lose by a field goal, we get our money back. So I'm taking Chargers +3 here. I think last time I looked, their public's hammering the Bengals too.
Yeah, let's see what it's at. But
I think it was something absurd.
Let's see what we got. 73% of bets on the Bengals.
Yeah, that's
a lot.
So yeah, I mean, take what you want, but I think this is definitely a great spot for the Chargers. You got to get a wild card spot here, and I think they're going to feel it.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. You're going to be rooting for the Chargers in Cincy, but hey, you know what? I don't have a play on the game, but I kind of agree.
Yeah, I just want a good game. A good game.
You know what? I kind of agree. This feels like a coin flip kind of game, like 50-50. And when it's a 50-50 game and you're giving the Chargers +3, I completely agree. You kind of got to take the team that's getting points at that point. If you view it as that. I feel like the Bengals have played great lately, and I'm not so sure that that's always going to happen, especially against a team like the Chargers. Like last week, they beat the Steelers 41-10. I was at the game in Pittsburgh. For whatever reason, Pittsburgh is just not running the ball, very good at times this year. And obviously last week, if they were getting blown out, they weren't really doing a great job. But the point is the Bengals have absolutely had the Steelers number this year. them winning 41-10 last week at home doesn't shock me at all. Big Ben is an absolute mess. He should not be starting. I mean, Mason Rudolph's not much better, but he's just not good. And then the week before, they did beat the Raiders, pretty bad. They smoked the Raiders, but I don't know. I don't really feel like the Bengals, what they've done the last 2 weeks, because let's be honest, they were 5-4 2 weeks ago. Now they're 7-4. We're looking at, well, they're probably going to make a playoff push. They still may, but I agree that this game's probably a coin flip. I could see it going down to, a last possession type of game. And yeah, you get that 3 points. I'd take that, but I just can't do it, man. I got other plays I like this week, so I just couldn't do it. Being in Cincinnati, I was thinking about taking like the over and seeing if you get like
You
a
enjoy the
Burrow.
game. You don't. You cheer for Cincy when they score, but hey, if they get scored on, not gonna be complaining.
He had to have some. He had to have some money on it. He had to have something. He's gonna be in the stands getting poured on. I thought about taking the over, but when I saw that forecast,
Well,
man,
that's the other thing too. The rain is gonna be a factor, I think.
yeah.
And
So maybe you get a close, grinded out game.
yeah, it's gonna be like sloppy. I don't know. When you're
Yeah.
getting points in those games, I'm always taking it.
Yeah, no, I agree. So I'll get to my next play, man. I got Giants plus 4.5. And God, I hate doing it. I really
Oh
do.
yeah, baby. I
Hey,
got them
man.
too.
You do? All right.
It's
Hey,
live.
Giants plus 4.5 is the number I was looking at. I think it may be down to 4 on some books, but we're taking plus 4.5. This is away against the Dolphins, and man, I get it. The Giants are trash and they're not a good team, but they seem to just kind of do well as a road underdog. They're 12-3 against the spread as a road underdog in their last 15 games. It makes zero sense to me why Daniel Jones does this kind of stuff, but he kind of seems to get it together sometimes on the road. And then when you look at their last 5 games, just overall, nothing in there. 4-1 against the spread, their last 5 games. I got to go off numbers sometimes. And I also just don't think the Dolphins are 4.5 points better than the Giants. I don't think the Dolphins are that bad, but people are talking about, well, this Dolphins team may have a playoff run in them. And I'm like, I just don't see it. I know Tua has done some things since he's come back and looked a lot better. The Dolphins just as a whole have looked a lot better with him. But I'm taking plus 4.5. Giants, man. Give me them points, man. I'm going to eat those points up. I love it. So
Yeah, I'm with you here. I think it's a perfect spot to take them. I know everyone's gonna be like Giants, like Dolphins are on
it's
a
an
winning
ugly
streak.
play.
They
It's an
just
ugly
beat
play.
they just beat Cam Newton. To be fair, I don't think Cam Newton's a problem in Carolina. That I tuned in for a little bit of that. That O line was fucking dog shit. I expect the Giants offensive line to be a little bit better, even though that's also not the best. But really, what really made me take +4 here, you got Miami's run defense, just looked it up, allows 104.9 yards per game. Expect Barkley to get it going here. And plus you're getting +4. It's a great spot. Even if they lose by a field goal, you still cover.
Yeah.
I just think this is going to be a letdown game for the Dolphins. Coming off a big win last week, probably being like, oh, we're playing the bum ass Giants, easy dub. And Joe Judge, I think, is a good coach. He always gets the boys ready. They always compete. Do they always win? No, but I do think he always gets them fired up for these games. So I expect them to cover here.
Yeah, I mean, the Giants quietly have come away with a couple decent wins this year, and they're 4-7.
They lost to the Chiefs by 3. They lost the Raiders they beat the Raiders at home. They beat the Eagles. It's a pretty solid team.
Yeah, they beat
And then
Vegas.
even the Tampa Bay game, they lost by 20, but I don't think they shouldn't have lost by 20, honestly. It's like a closer game, I think. They just went for it on 4th down a bunch of times, didn't get it. But
yeah, they've played a lot better.
They're getting a lot of players back too from injury. I think Sterling Shepard might play in this one.
Yep.
Galladay's back. Tony might be back as well. So
yeah, I like the Giants a lot. And
yeah,
when
I
we
think
look
it's a
at
good
the
play.
percent, when we look at that percent, man, 80% of the bets on Dolphins. We love fading that kind of shit. It doesn't make sense to me. Like I said, I don't feel like the Dolphins are all that good. I get that they've rattled off some wins recently. I think they've won 4 straight now, but they were 1-7 before that. Like I don't think that they're a 1-7 team, but I also think like last week's win over Carolina, that's not accurate for what I look at the Dolphins as. What I think's more accurate is what happened 2 weeks ago, which is where they won by 7 over the Jets in a 24-17 game. And that was, the Jets are not good. I think the Giants are better than the Jets. I'd put my money on that all day. So I like the Giants a lot in this game, getting 4.5 points. That's a lot of points in a game that I like what the Giants do. They kind of, put together some game plans for whatever reason. They beat Philly last week and they kept up with the Chiefs, like we talked about, beat the Raiders. Joe Judge he's not a great coach by any means, but he's got, like, you're right, he's gotten his guys ready. So whatever he's doing, it's better than what the Lions are doing. And do you really think the Lions and the Giants, there's a small gap maybe, but like the Lions ain't winning games. The Giants are finding ways. So at some point you got to look at that. So I like what they're going to do. I think 4.5 points is a big spread. So I'm excited about that one as well, man. So do you have any more on the 1 o'clocks?
Yeah, I have another
Right.
one I added late. Could regret this one, kind of a dumpster fire, but taking the under in the Eagles and Jets, under 45.5 right now. Jalen Hurts dealing with some ankle injury. I know he said he's going to be fine, ready to play. We heard that with Russell Wilson. I think a lot of these guys are just tough. They try to tough it out, but I don't really see them scoring a whole lot if he's injured. Even if he plays. Jets defense hasn't been bad. They're only allowing like 260 yards a game. And then you have to expect that the Jets are going to score. I don't see that. Zach Wilson, is his second start coming back from knee injury. I don't see this being a whole lot of scoring here. I got like 24-17 type game. And even that puts you at 41. So going to need more than 5 touchdowns here in this game for you to go over. I just don't see 5 touchdowns coming. I don't think the Eagles lose this game, but I'm taking the under here, 45.5.
Yeah, this was a game that was hard for me to kind of look at because, if Jalen Hurts and he's healthy, if he plays and he's healthy, the spread itself kind of changes. But I stayed away just because I was kind of unsure. But it's every reason I feel like you're on the right track with. If Jalen Hurts doesn't play, it's Gardner Minshew, which that completely puts the spread or the under at a completely different outlook.
40.
It would probably drop to like 40, 41. It would drop a couple points if you ask me, because Jalen Hurts has been playing very well the last month. But even if he does play, if he's got an ankle injury, they said it was a sprained ankle. That's going to limit that mobility, in my opinion. I could be wrong on that, but I would assume it would limit his mobility. I don't think he's going to be able to put up the same kind of rushing, dynamic. And even if they do, if he's running the ball plenty, 45.5 points, too much points. I agree on that. I just, I question whether,
another great play you could do in this one, which has been great to me. I think I'm like 3-0 doing it, but fading the Jets first half. I don't know. It's probably like Eagles, guess -3.5 first half, but the Jets are dog shit in the first half. Like literally last week they were awful, and then like I said, they started showing up in the second half. I don't know what it is, but they just can't get it going in the first half. So they're always a good team to fade if that's another way you want to go in this one, but I'm just taking the under here.
Yeah, I like kind of going first half bets, but it's tough because you get burned on a couple of them. I think I bet against the Lions in that Rams-Lions game, and I had like Rams first half, and it didn't go my way, but it can be very good. That's the reason I did that Cardinals first half earlier. But I don't have any more 1 o'clocks. Do you have any more 1 o'clocks on the slate? Okay,
that's all I got really.
Right.
We got one more play, I think.
Okay, I got 2, so I can lead us off with one. This is probably my most nervous play of the week, if I'm being straight with you. I got the Raiders -2.5, and I am so nervous about it because Washington has played great lately. But I also feel like the Raiders coming home, they just had that big win on the road in Dallas. I just feel like this is one of those opportunities where I'm getting a home team. I'm getting them under 3 points. They're coming back home. I feel like there's going to be kind of some mojo kind of going around. I think the Raiders are probably the better team. If you asked me a couple weeks ago, I would have taken Raiders -2.5 in a heartbeat. But Washington
I think
football
it's a
team's
good
kind of
spot.
they've rattled off a couple pretty nice wins. I know that a couple of these games it's hard to say. I mean, that game against the Bucks, they looked awesome. But so I talk about them winning a couple big games. I wrote down in my notes, and I completely agree with it now. The Panthers with Cam Newton, man, it's kind of been a questionable thing. Like you said, the offensive
Yeah.
line. I don't know if they're just kind of trying to get it all together, but they won that game over the Panthers, and I don't really know what to factor in with Cam Newton right now. Like they looked really bad last week. They looked really bad 2 weeks ago against the Washington football team. So are the Panthers actually that good? I don't know. And then last week they barely beat the Seahawks, and everybody's like, man, very impressive win for the Washington football team. I'm like, dude, do you guys realize like Russell Wilson is not the same? He has looked awful since coming back.
Yeah.
And it's not even like there was a huge part of me that wanted to just immediately take the 49ers this week because I don't think Russell Wilson is playing nearly at the level that they're putting these spreads, because the reason that we lost last week or 2 weeks ago with Russell Wilson was because he can't throw the ball right now. It's just not the same team. So is Washington football team actually getting these big wins, or are the Panthers just not playing good football? And then you got a Russell Wilson that's completely different Russell Wilson. Like they were all over him with pressure because that Seahawks offensive line's trash. But also I'm not so sure Russell Wilson's the same Russell Wilson that we're used to. He almost came back and won them that game or tied it, whatever, with the 2-point conversion. But that's even more reason. I don't think Russell Wilson's playing that great right now, and they almost let him back in the game. So
Yeah.
giving me the Raiders -2.5. Like I
I
said,
actually like this a
I'm
lot.
nervous.
I
Yeah,
actually like it a lot because I mean, think about it. Washington's on a short week. They got to fly across the country. It's gonna be tough to get
yeah,
up for that game.
yeah,
Raiders have been off since Thursday. Time to rest. You'd think they should show up. I mean, I like it. I
yeah. They
expect
should.
them to win. And people are probably gonna hop on the Washington hype train, like, oh, Ron Rivera, they're gonna get it. They're gonna get a wild card spot. I don't know. I
Yeah.
think the Raiders are the right play in this one for sure. If I had to pick,
Yeah, it's like I said, it's a nervous play solely on the fact that the Raiders up until last week were kind of having some struggles, but we're taking a -2.5. Just think they're at the end of the day, they're the better football team. And I think you're right. Washington's probably being a little overhyped. I talked about those last 2 weeks wins. I'm just not so impressed by them. But that's what I got on that. And what's your last play? Hit me with the last play here.
talk about a nervous play.
Yeah, no kidding.
Talking about that, I'm nervous about this one, but we're fading the Ravens again.
Hmm.
um, hasn't been good to me, but hey, last week was absolutely fucking garbage that they covered. Let me tell you that. Browns couldn't do a goddamn lick on offense. Defense kept them in it. 4 picks and you can't score any points off those turnovers. Absolute joke. Steelers at home, divisional matchup. This game is always close. Always comes down to last possession. You're giving me 4.5. Taking that shit in a heartbeat. If Lamar turns that ball over against the Steelers, damn right they're scoring. So that's where I'm relying here. Pittsburgh's gonna be a tough spot to play, especially in a divisional game. We'll be fired up for this one, coming off a bad loss. I expect them to bounce back here. I know I'm trusting Big Ben, but I think Najee's got to get it going here. I know he's struggled lately, but expect them to run the ball a little bit on Baltimore here.
Yeah, they need Najee. They like if it's Big Ben trying to win them this game, it's gonna be really hard.
Not happening.
But yeah, I mean, we saw what happened last week, and I think the numbers kind of out.
I think like the Browns could have run the ball pretty well against Baltimore. Is they got some injuries on the offensive line that game and just ruined the whole game.
Yeah, I saw Conklin went down.
Yeah,
I'm not really sure what his status is going forward, but that's a big piece, obviously.
But yeah, I just expect Pittsburgh, to do well here. I know they're a little shaky in the run defense, but I mean, you got Devontae Freeman, so I think you should be able to stop him. But
I mean, 4.5 points is a lot of points
at home. Divisional rival.
divisional game. Pittsburgh's 5-5-1 because the Lions.
But I could easily look like a total dumbass when they lose by another 20 points, but it's okay.
Yeah, I mean 74% of bets on Baltimore. So if you really, yeah, I mean that's expected. It's really like I don't even have to announce it anymore. Everybody knows it's going to be over 70% on the Ravens every week. But 4.5 points is plenty of points. I like Pittsburgh in the spot. I'm not going to bet them, but I see what you're saying. At least I hate Big Ben right now. I just it's so hard to bet with him. But you're right. Get Najee Harris going. Maybe he can kind of carry them. All you got to do is cover 4.5 points. So you could lead. I mean, you could lose, 24-21, some game like that, and you're covering. So I like that. You're getting a full 4.5 points in that game. That's plenty. So I see what you're saying. My last play I got, man, is just I have to do it out of principle just because it's such a big spread. I think it's the biggest spread this week. Jaguars +13 on the road against the Rams. And man, I hate doing it because I was huge on Stafford earlier in the year. I know you've been kind of down on him. He's overrated. And he's kind of the last 3 weeks, man.
He sucks.
Been bad. And I'm not saying that that's going to happen against the Jaguars. He'll probably have success against the Jaguars, but you're giving me 13, a full 13 points.
I mean, what's worse is like defense. You got all these fucking big names on the Rams. Their defense is even worse.
Right. Yeah, it's a huge spread at this point. Right now, though, I'm looking at Jaguars with the +13 spread. They're 5-2 against the spread as a road underdog in their last 7 games, which they've probably been a road underdog in every game they've played in probably the last month or years. But anyways, when I'm looking at the way they've played, man, like the last month, you look at that game against the Colts, they hung in there. And then you look at the game against the Bills, they really hung in there. It was like a 9-6 win. So I'm looking at the Rams. They're playing bad right now. I'm sure plenty of people are going to jump on board with my idea of take the Jaguars and take the points because that's such a huge spread. I could get burned. I really could. If Stafford comes out and plays like he did the first couple weeks of the year, I might get burned. But when we're looking at those last 3 weeks, just like you said, he stinks, dude. He has been awful. I know he's trying
to pull the fucking back excuse as they always pull when he starts playing bad. Oh, guy has chronic back pain. Oh.
So yeah, man, I'm looking at that.
Hey, all I gotta say is our fucking trade looks great.
Hey, last 3 games for Stafford, 5 interceptions, and I believe it was 2 pick sixes.
What we got for him, I ain't complaining.
Yeah, man. Plenty of first round picks.
Golf isn't it, but I'll take those first round picks.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. So when you look at that, though, 5 interceptions in the last 3 games, that's he's not seeing it correctly right now. And great, he's
played it up too. Look at their defense. The past 4 weeks, they gave up 22 points to the Texans, who are not good.
Yep.
28 points to the Titans, 2 were, I don't know, pick sixes basically.
Yeah.
49ers, 31 points, and then 36 against the Packers. Ain't good.
No, they're not really playing that great. I'm not saying Trevor Lawrence is Aaron Rodgers, but he's
covered -13. You're gonna need some stops.
Yeah, I mean, give me a little Trevor Lawrence +13, rooting for the young man out in Jacksonville. So hey, 0-5 though is what the Rams against the spread in the last 5 games. 0-5. If we want to play the numbers, I love to always pull out these numbers. We want to play that. We can go 0-5 against the spread. We can look at 5-2 against the spread with road underdogs as far as Jacksonville goes. So let's fade Stafford this week. I faded him a couple weeks ago against Tennessee, and it worked out for me. You're giving me 13 points. Let's go, Trevor Lawrence. Get it to fucking together, man.
Yeah, I think they win this one by 7 or 10. I think it's a good bet.
Yeah. That's a lot of points, man. I don't care if they're at home. I don't with what we've seen, where does a 13-point spread come out of? The last 3, and granted, maybe I'm overreacting to what I've seen out of Stafford, but at some point, 13 points is just, we've looked at these spreads all year, whether it's been the Rams, whether it's been the Buccaneers, and it's hard to cover that many points. The same reason that you teased, up to 15 points, earlier. If you didn't feel confident taking the Jaguars +13, tease them up to +19. I mean, for fuck's sake, how many points do you need? I don't know, but I think they'll cover it.
Yeah, I agree.
So, if you want to recap your plays, I think that's it for me. I think
Yeah,
that's
that's
it for
all I
you. Yeah.
got. I didn't love the Sunday night game. Spread's
Yeah.
too high. Monday night, I think it's gonna be a great game to watch.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So,
We're gonna be back.
don't have anything there. Might tweet something out on Monday morning, but we'll see. I can recap my plays. I got over 47.5 in tonight's Thursday night game with the Cowboys and Saints. Chargers +3 at Cincy. Giants +4 at Miami. Bucks under 50.5. Eagles under 45.5. And then my teaser is Cardinals -1.5 with Texans +15. And then I got Steelers +4.5 at home against the great quarterback of himself.
It's
He must
almost
not
like
be named.
yeah, I was about to say it's like in Harry Potter. He who must not be named. He's burned us a couple times this year, man. We just keep talking shit about him. That's probably why he's burning us.
He's
but...
dog shit. Fuck that guy. Guy throws like a fucking blind fucking squirrel out there.
All right, I'll recap it on that note. I got New Orleans +5 against Dallas at home in that game, New Orleans. Then we got Arizona Cardinals first half -3.5. I got the under 47 in the Vikings versus the Lions game. We got Giants +4.5 on the road against Miami. We got under 50.5 in the Tampa Bay versus Falcons game. Then we got Las Vegas Raiders -2.5 at home against Washington. And then the biggest spread of the week, Jacksonville Jaguars +13 on the road against the Rams. God, man, we need a big week. We've had a couple slow ones. 4-3 wasn't that bad for me last week. I wasn't upset.
I added a lot of plays this week. I'm feeling the card.
Hey, it's either going to be a great week, maybe a little Cincinnati mojo. I know Breeze needs the Bengals to lose.
When the boys take a trip, the boys get hot.
I think we did do pretty well last time we took a trip. I want to say when I was in the last time I watched the Bengals play, so maybe that's like kind of a thing. It was in Pittsburgh. I had that, little trip. I want to say I went like 7-1 that week or 6-1. It was a huge week for me. Maybe the Bengals are kind of the good luck charm. And in that game, the Bengals won by a lot. So we'll see what happens, man. But do you got anything to end the show on?
Oh, yeah. Right here. Let's go blue, baby.
You know what? I was waiting for it.
Big win Saturday. I swear to God, I hope we don't let down. Honestly, I was going to tell you this. Iowa +10.5. Ain't bad.
Yeah.
I think we win, but 10 points. I think their defense. If we try to just run the ball against them all game, it's not going to work.
No.
Like I hope we don't come with the same game plan we did against Ohio State, because it ain't going to work against Iowa. But no. I hope they get their shit together. I hope they're not, so hyped up from last week's win. They realize the job's not done. But big game Saturday. Hope the boys can pull it together, make our first playoff under Harbaugh, so we can finally let that go.
Yeah,
I've not been a huge fan of him. I'm gonna admit I wanted him gone multiple times. I still feel that way unless he wins on Saturday. If he wins Saturday, he can stay. He can stay.
Maybe give him a couple more years. We'll see what happens. I was waiting for it at some point. If nobody could see, he's pointing at his Michigan football hat. Pretty much made me want to throw up. But I didn't really dare.
Hey, big win for State. Big win for State.
Hey, I got my Spartans hat here. If we want to talk about what happened.
Big win in the snow for them. 10-win season.
Yeah, man. They if they're not in a New Year's Six Bowl, I'll be a little bit upset, because they deserve it. They're a top 10 team in the country. I don't really care what anybody says. I'm taking them.
Probably pair them with like Oklahoma or some shit.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. I'm excited. At least we're probably going to be in a pretty good bowl game, but obviously a little salty still after 2 weeks ago's loss to the Buckeyes. But hey, I was glad to see at least one team take down Ohio State. So we're going to be in Cincinnati this week for that game. We're going to have to find somewhere to get away from the Buckeye fans, because they are going to be so obnoxious. We're going to try to find a Michigan bar. I don't know, whatever we got to do, but we're excited about it.
I'm chirping wherever we go.
We're gonna get in a fight with some Ohio State fans. Yeah.
Just like when we watched the state game, we had Ohio State fans watching the game where we were at, and the guy was just fucking chirping the whole
Dude,
time.
it was bad. It was
The
bad.
worst fan base. Worst fan base.
Seriously. That's why I said, like, I was okay with Michigan winning last week. I know they're our rival, but at this point, Ohio State's just as
And
much of a rival.
now
as
they're
Michigan
like,
State.
well, we can't win 11 years in a row. Oh, okay, buddy. Okay.
Yeah, shut your mouth. You ain't going to the playoffs. Unless something crazy happens, they ain't going to the playoffs. So we'll see. I'm excited about it, though. I'll be rooting for Michigan this weekend. Can't believe I'm saying that, but I will be. I'd rather see them go on than Iowa ain't. That's the thing. If Iowa wins, like, they're not making the playoff. So
yeah,
I don't see that happening. They've lost plenty of games this year. I think that 3-4 losses this year for them. So
I think it's 3,
yeah. So they're not making the playoff. I'd rather see one of the teams from the Big Ten make the playoff.
Yeah, I think if we lose, it's going to be whoever wins the Big 12. I think.
Yeah, no, I agree. So, anyways, though, guys, that wraps it up. A little college football talk in for you guys at the end there. Kind of hate to see Michigan in this opportunity instead of Michigan State, because Michigan State beat them, and I thought all the cards were on the table. But hey, at least one of the teams is in it, better than Ohio State. So a little college football for you guys. Man, we're excited though. It's gonna be a great weekend of football just overall. All these college football games on, but big week in the NFL, man. And we're talking, it's that point in the season where playoff pushes are happening. Teams got to show up or they don't show up. So a lot of that, I think, factored into, both of our plays.
Fantasy leagues are coming down the wire.
Fantasy leagues are coming down to the wire. I mean, this is like
I just fucking dropped off our playoff group. I'm like one spot out because my points scored's been shit. I got to get back in there.
Hey, man, big weeks in fantasy, big weeks in little college football, and big weeks, overall. So, and obviously we're going to end the week on a pretty good note with that Monday Night Football game. Who knows? Maybe we'll throw a play out for you guys, but excited about that game as well. So that's pretty much it though for us guys. We'll tell you guys about the Cincinnati trip, I guess, next week, and we'll tell you about how much bets we won. So that's it for me, man. And I guess follow us at TFD Breakdown, and obviously at Beast_Picks and at Breez_Picks. Gonna try to start putting out more plays. I've been putting out like a lot of college basketball too. So
that's something we might do in the future. We're thinking about once football season's over, we're gonna combine our picks. Probably just post them out on our podcast page for you guys. For sure. So all right, sounds good, guys. We'll see you guys next week. Happy betting. Peace.